Hello everyone. So let's start with the second session. I hope this will be also a very good session for everyone so that you can have that knowledge of JCL if you are learning or trying to learn mainframe technologies. Okay, so firstly, we will talk about our organization. So our organization name programmers.io. We work with our client as we move ahead the common goal, which is customer happiness, and we work on IBM I technologies as well as we work on IBM Z mainframe technologies, and we also work on other languages, front end, back end, all kind of technologies we work on. And our team is made up of experts who specialize in various programming languages and mainframe utilities, including COBOL, Rex, CICS, PLI, JCL, vSAM, IBM DB2. Our IBM Z mainframe developer have expertise or the extensive knowledge of range of application in different domains, such as we work in logistics. We have pretty good projects in the logistic. We work in telecommunication, ERP, banking, which is the very big domain which is working on the mainframe. And also we work in healthcare and insurance industries. So we support and maintain application development from scratch. Our IBMZ development team has expertise to handle any challenge, whether it is support or whether it is development of any application from the scratch. So that's all about our organization. Let's start with the agenda. So this is the second lecture. So first we will go to the what we have learned in the last session. So it will be a first recap session for the first lecture, and after that we will deep dive into the next topic, which is what is SYSIN and what is SYSOUT. After that we will complete the job cycle. Like we have till now, we have learned how to submit the job, how processing takes place, and after that we will go jobs output process, and after that how job is purged, and after that we will go for the next topic, which is what is JCL and how to code the JCL statement. So we will be deep diving into the coding process of JCL statement, and after that we will be checking what are the fields we have in the JCL statement, what are the JCL parameter we have in the JCL statement, and after that we will work on how to continue and comment the JCL statement. So this is the agenda for the second session. I hope you will like this session as well. Okay, let's start the first topic, which is the last session recap. So in the last section, we learned about the introduction of job, like what is job, what is JCL, and what is JES. So job is the execution of one or more related program in sequence, and each individual execution program is called as a job step. And after that JCL, so I have already explained how JCL and job is related to each other. So if you want to write any job, you need to have a knowledge of JCL statement, because that is the only language that can control the job. And after that we learned about the job entry subsystem, which is the subsystem that will work or that can process the any particular job that you submit. And after that we work on the next, which is batch processing. So I have already given you the pretty good example of what is batch processing and how batch processing works. So based on JCL, we can start any batch processing. So the example I shared in the last session was when we get the monthly statement from the bank. It is one of the good example how we can get the batch processing work. Like each and every month, you will be getting the bank statement from the bank. And after that, we started the life cycle of job. Like in the last lecture, we learned about how the job is entered into the system and how the working of scheduling. So scheduling is the, you can say, that system that can schedule the job for the further process. So based on some priorities, based on some class, we can set the execution of the job, and we can manipulate the priority of any job. And after that, once our job is passed through the scheduler, so it will go to the execution process, and how job execution done in the system that I have already explained, like how you allocate the data set, how you allocate the memory. So and after completion of any step, how the deallocation of memories occur, and after that we go to the next job step. So this is all about the recap of last session. I hope I covered most of the thing in the recap. So let's start with the second session, the new topic, which is SYSIN and SYSOUT. Okay, so let me explain. As a user program executes, it can retrieve data that was included as a part of job stream and stored in the JES pool. Input data process in this way is called SYSIN data or in-stream data. For example, if you are writing any job and you are providing any SYSIN parameter, for example, in-stream dataset. So you are putting something like variable value, any file name. So if you are putting something in the job as an input, then it is your sysin data. That means it is an in-stream data. After that, we have another, which is sysout data. A user program can also produce output data that's stored in the JES pool. The programs treat this data called sysout data as if it were written to a printer. Sysout data is held in a sysout queue until it can be processed by JES. The same example, what we have in SysIn, the same philosophy is applied to the SysOut. So whatever the data we are getting from the program, for example, you are writing something on your report and that report will go to the printer for printing. So all that kind of data that we are getting from the program, it is called as a sysout or the outstream data. So we have the in-stream that we are putting or inputting something in the job, and we have sysout data that we are getting some output from job, whether it is any value or whether it is having any file that can be written to a printer so that we can have that report printed. So I hope the concept of sysin and sysout is clear. The word itself communicate what that mean. So sysin, we are inputting something in the job. Sysout, we are getting output from any particular program. It is sysout. Okay, we will go to the next. Okay, so we have covered till now how job is entered into the system, how scheduler catch that job, and after that, how the execution of that job is processed. The next topic or the next part of that job cycle is how jobs output is processed. So once our processing is done, so we have something that is called as output. So how that output is processed. A single job can produce sysout data using more than one output class. So here we'll be having different classes for sysout data set. So that is what written here. So a single job can produce sysout data using more than one output class. For example, you might specify that the job message output be produced using class A. Similarly, you might specify class A for output produced by one or more of your program. Then all that class A output is gathered together and printed as a unit. So for example, you have given the job class or the output class as A, then you will get all the information gathered together and printed as a unit. And also you might specify the another job class or the output class, which is class D for some of your jobs pool output. Then the class D output will be treated separately from the class A output. So as per the requirement, you can specify sysout class or the output class, whether it is A or whether it is D or whether it is anything that as per the requirement. So each class will be treated separately as an output. And as I already mentioned, the single output can produce sysout data using more than one outputs. In fact, you can specify separate output class for each sysout data set produced by your job. So for example, you are having big job and you are having different sysout parameter or the sysout messages there. So you can have different classes for each sysout data set produced by the job. And you can handle sysout data in other ways beside using output classes. For example, you can specify a particular printer to use, the number of copies to print, or any special form that the sysout data should be printed on. So there is facility you can specify a particular printer to use, the number of copies to print for any particular sysout file, whether it is any report, and we can have that information, and based on that we can also use this sysout, and you can print this sysout on the printer. And each job that is processed by JES produces a series of sysout dataset. The first three I'll be showing the three messages in the next slide, and also I'll be showing the practical messages. So the three listed in the next slide consist of the system messages and the job communication. Any additional data set are typically produced by the program executed in the job. So we will move to the next slide, where I'll be showing you the type of data set or the sysout messages we get from each job is processed. So yeah, so this is the example of sysout class and the output messages. So as I already mentioned that you can have the different types of output classes assignment for each sysout message you have in your job. So for example, so this isn't just example. For example, you have mentioned the output class as A. So what is that meaning? A standard printer output usually routed to one of the installations high-speed printer and printed on standard computer paper. So if you are putting the job class as A, that means this is the significance of that class. Next, you can have the another class which is B, the special printer output, and we can also input the job class as X, held output that stays on this is out queue until it is released for printing or deleted. So this isn't just example of output classes. As per requirement, you can have different types of output classes, and you can ask the significance of each output class, and based on your requirement, what you need to do, you can provide the job class. So if you're working on any project, so the output class is already presented, or the output class information is already there at the mainframe admin. So you can ask like what are the job class or the output class that we need to provide for any job process. So that is regarding the output class. And I mentioned that if you are working on any job, and if you submit the job, and after submission of the job, in the spool area you will get the sysout data set. There are some messages that JCL gives us. So first one is the JES LG. So the JES message log is the listing of messages produced by job entry subsystem as the job was executed. So this will be the first message that once you submit any job, you will get this type of message, which is JES GLG. And after that, we'll be having the JES JCL. So that is the JCL listing. So it is just basically the JCL that you have submitted. So all that information is available. And another one is the JESYSMSG. The system message log is the collection of messages produced by a system as the job was executed. So I have an example. Let me, yep. Okay. So this is my job. So I submitted this job earlier before starting this session. So we will go to the output messages that we have. Okay, so I already explained. So we'll be having this type of output messages. So this is the message that is regarding the information. So for example, what is the job name? What is the step name, or in which job step you have some issue? So we'll be getting this RC or the written code value. If you get any event, then you can have this written code as per the, like if you have the 0 and 04, it is good. If you are having other than 04 or 0, then it is an issue. So you can have that information here, and it is also giving the information about the job statistics. So here we are having JES2. So this is the execution date of job, what how many cards it read, what is the SYSOUT pin records, and what is the execution of the time. So all that information is available here. Then we will go to the next, which is the JCL. So basically this output or this SYSOUT message is all about the JCL only. What JCL you have submitted. So here you can see the JCL that I have submitted. So it is just JCL, nothing else. And after that, we have these collection of messages. So it will give the all the information about the JCL or the each job step, what are the allocation done, what are the volumes used, and what are the operation done for that. So all kind of information and the messages are recorded here. So this kind of output or this is out messages you will be getting after each submission of job. So these three are the main, and after that, as per your jobs requirement or the as per your job, you will get other information as well. So that is all about the SysOut dataset that I already explained, and I show you the example. We discussed this first three. And after that, I already mentioned that program SysOut data, that SysOut data produced by program execution in the job. The number of program SysOut data set produced depends on the type of program executed by the job and their output requirement. So it is based on your job. So I hope the SysOut parameter or the SysOut messages that we get from any job is clear now. And also I have given the output class messages as well. What are the information we have regarding that? So that is all about what once we submit the job, how the output is processed in the system. Okay, next we will go to the how job is purged. After job's output has been processed, the job is purged from the system. That means the JES pool space the job used for is freed so that it can be used by other job. For example, you have allocated some space for the execution of your job, and once it is purged, then a job, that particular space is freed so that it can be used by other job. In addition, any JES control block associated with the jobs are deleted. And once a job has been purged, JES no longer knows of its existence. To process the job again, you must submit the job again. So this is all about the purging. So once you have submitted the job, processing of job is done, your output is also completed, you have received whatever your output. Then the next one is how job is purged. So job purging is basically deallocation of memory space. So this is regarding the purging of the job. So this is all about the life cycle of the job process. So in the last lecture, we started from how job is entered into the system, and the last one is how job is purged. So I hope the life cycle of job is clear now. Okay, now we will move to the next topic and the actual topic, which is what is JCL and how to code a JCL statement. So in the last lecture, I have given the idea about what is JCL. So JCL is the job control language, consists of a set of JCL statements that are used in a job to control a program, execution, data allocation, and output processing. So basically JCL is related to job and how you want to control the job, its execution, whatever the data allocation need, and how output should be processed. All those parameters will be written by the JCL, which is job control language. Okay. And if you're writing any job, then the job begins with the job statement. After that, most JSL statements are grouped into the job step. So in the starting, you will be having a job statement, and in that job statement, you will be having all the information about that job, whatever the message class, all whatever the class, who is the programmer, and all kind of accounting information will be available for that. So basically the job card is the ID card of that particular job that will give the information about that particular job. And after that, we will be having job steps. So we'll be having job step 1, job step 2. So we'll be having different steps in the job, and each job step starts with an exact statement. So exact means it will be executed. So we can have the exec equals to some program, user defined program, or the utility program. So basically, exec statement contain the statement that are needed to execute one program. And after that, we'll be having a null statement that is can be used to mark the end of a job. It consists of slashes in column 1 and 2 and no other data on the rest of the line. It isn't required though you probably won't use it. So this is all about JCL and how the what are the statement we have in the JCL. So this is the example of JCL statement that I already explained what is job. So for example, this is your job. And in this job, you will be having a job statement. So job statement means this information. So job statement means this is your information. For example, in this job, we have written just accounting information, but you can have, or let me share my example as well. Okay, so in my job, I have this class, message class and notify user ID, all kind of information written here. That means you are providing information about the particular job, like what is the class, what is the message class, and what are the notified user ID you will be having. So this is all about the job statement, which identifies the information about the job, supplies accounting information. Yeah. And after that, you will be having the exact statement. So exact statement is all about identify a job step indicating the name of program to be executed. So in this example, you can see we are having this step 1. And in this step 1, you will be having your job or the exact statement, which is execution of this program, which is exact program is equals to program A. And this is the next step, which is the program B. So you will be having different types of exact statement, and in that exact statement, you will be executing different types of program. So basically, it identifies the step indicating the name of the program to be executed. And after that, we will be having the DD statement, which is identify the data set to be allocated for the job step. So in this example, as you can see, for this program A, we are having two DD statement. That means we are having two files, file A and file B as a DD statement. For example, input for this program or the output for this program. And this is the file name. So we are having customer master or we are having customer list. All that information or the DD statement, that means the file that will be using in the program. So that is all about the DD statement. So DD statement gives the information about the file or the data set that will be using by that particular job state. So for this step 1 and for this program A, only these two files are available as a DD statement. So only these two files will be available for execution of this program. And in job step 2, you are having different files or the different data set. So for program B, we are having these two files. So for program B, we are having customer list or customer invoice. So this is all about the DD statement. So DD statement will give the information about the data set or the file that can be used in the program or the job step. And after that, we have a delimiter, which is /* makes the end of an in-stream data set. And after that, we have the double //, which is the mark, which mark the end of the job. And after that, we have the /*, which provides the comment. So let me give an example. Okay, so I have this example here. So this one, the delimiter, marks the end of the in-stream dataset. So here I have written one job and this is my SYSIN parameter. So I'm doing something by using this job. So I'm loading data and table. By using loading data, I'll be creating my table. So I want to give this parameter, or I need to give this parameter /* because it will mark the end of the in-stream dataset. So job will know. So this is the in-stream data set that will be used for the execution. And talking about the comment, how you can write the comment. So you can write the comment by giving forward slash star. So this is all about the basic job statement. So we have job statement, exact statement, DD statement, how you can comment, how you can give the delimiter, how you can give the null. Null means the end of the job. So it will give the information to the job that job is ended. And I already mentioned in each job, you will be having different types of, uh, you can say, job steps. So here in this job, you are having step one, which will be execution of this program using this file. And in step two, you are executing program B by using this two file. So that is all about job steps. So in your job, you will be having n number of job step as per your requirement. So how can we identify the job step? The job step will start with the exact statement following by DD statement if it is required. So just keep in mind, for any particular job step, the job step will start by exact statement only. So I hope the basic idea about the JCL, what are the JCL statement, what are the significance of each JCL statement, how we can identify the job step is clear now. Okay, we will move to the next, which is the fields in JCL statement. So JCL statements are coded as a 80 byte record with 72 of those bytes available for JCL code and the last 8 reserved for an optional sequence number. Within those 72 bytes, you can code the JCL in relatively freeform manner, and we need to follow the basic format and the rules. Okay, let me give an example. Okay, so this is my JCL. Let me put the calls. Yep. Okay, so here we can code the JCL from 1 to 72. So in this section, you can code the JCL, and there are other parameters, or there are some lines or the columns after 72, which will be eight column that are regarding the sequence number. So I have written here, so 80 will be having 80 bytes record, but only we'll be using the first 72 and the last 8 are reserved. So here you can see only till 72 you can code, and after that you cannot code. So this is the information regarding the how or the where you can code the JCL. So from starting till 72 only. Okay, and each JCL statement is logically divided into 5 fields: the identifier field, the name field, the operation field, and the parameter fields, and the comment field as well. The identifier, operation, and the parameter fields are used by most JCL statement, while the name and the comment fields are optional. The identifier fields start in column 1, and for all standard JCL statement is 2 slashes. Immediately following the identifier field is the name of the field, although required on job statement. Okay, so let me give an example so that I can easily explain the JCL field parameters. Okay, so if you're writing a JCL, so we'll be having some basic format about the statement. First one is the identifier field, which start in column 1 and generally consist of a 2 slashes, forward slashes, and there are two exception. One, a delimiter statement, which is the forward slash star, and another one is the comment. So here, whatever you have written or whatever you have provided as a forward slash is marked as an identifier field. So anywhere you hear the term as identifier field, so that means forward slashes are named as identifier field. Just keeping in that mind all the fields. And after that, we will be having the name field. So 1 to 8 alphanumeric or national characters starting with the letter or a national character must begin in column 3 if coded. Okay, so this is the name field. The name of any particular job is written here. So here you have the name field, and as mentioned, 1 to 8 alphanumerical or the national characters can be used. So here you can see we have written the name field and all are starting with alphabetic values only. So you can use special character as well. And after that, we can have the operation field. Operation field, a valid operation code such as job execution dd, and must be preceded and followed by a space. So as name suggests, we are doing some operation. So for that we have operation field. So job exec and dd are come under the operation field, and it must preceded and followed by a space. So you need to provide the space so that it can job can identify it as a operation field, not as a name field. And after that, we have the parameter field. So one or more parameter depending on the operation. Individual parameters are separated from one another by commas with no intervening spaces. So these are the parameter fields. So in this parameter field, you can have the job statements, all the information. You can have the exact statements, PGM equals to any your program value, and all the data set values. So here all the parameter fields, in this parameter field all the information of job exec and dd statement will have their values. So these are the, you can say, the four, and the fifth one is the comment. So you can write the comment as per your requirement. Just follow the info, the just follow the logic or the follow the process how you can use the comment. So this is the fifth section, which is the comment. So we have first one identifier, we have a name field, and after that we have a operation field, and after that we have the parameter fields. So in my job, yep, so in my job I have this same information. So this is the parameter field. Sorry, this is my identifier, this is my name field, this is my operation field, and all this is my parameter field, and this is my operation field. All this information is my operation field, this is my name field, and this is my identifier field. Okay, so I hope this information is clear now. What are the fields that we have in any particular job? Let's move to the next topic. Okay. Okay, we have the JCL parameter field. So JCL parameter field begins at least one position after the end of the operation field and can extend into column 72. There are two types of parameter. One is the positional and another one is the keyword. The system interpret the meaning of positional parameter based on its position in the parameter field. As a result, an omitted positional parameter that is followed by additional positional parameter must have a comma to mark its place. A keyword parameter are interpreted based on the keyword followed by an equal sign and a value. They can be coded in any order. So let me give an example. For example, so this is the good example where you can have the positional parameter and the keyword parameter. As here mentioned that you can have the positional parameter and number of positional parameter. So this is the example of positional parameter. So you have written your job, and after job statement you are giving some values, for example accounting information, or the programmer who coded this job. So all this information is come under the positional parameter. Okay, and if your like first parameter is not coded, then you need to give the comma to identify it as a positional parameter. So this is the another example where we are having two positional parameter, but first one is not coded. That's why we have marked it as a comma. Then we are having the information about the programmer. So this is the example of positional parameter where if any term if you hear the term positional parameter, so this is the information about the positional parameter. And after that, we have another parameter, which is the keyword parameter. So in the DD statement, you will be having the keyword parameter. For example, here we have the two keyword parameter. One is the DS name, and we are having some file, and we'll be having DISP, which is another keyword parameter. And these are the example of keyword parameter sub with positional sub parameters. So here we are having two keyword parameter, and in under that we are having some positional sub parameter. So this is the example of key parameter, and this is the example of positional parameter and the keyword parameter. So so this is all about the information about the keyword parameter and the positional parameter. And these are the examples, the two positional parameters and two keyword parameters. Okay, so let's move to the next topic, which is regarding how to continue and comment the JCL statement. So you are writing something, for example, you are writing any job statement and you are writing some information, for example, accounting information, and you are also having some programmers information, message class information, priority, and all kind of information. And you can just code it till 72 columns. So how you want to continue after that? And the next one is how you mark the comments in the job. Those two are the next topic in this session. The parameter fields can be coded on more than one line. However, the field can only be divided after the comma at the end of complete parameter or sub parameter. The continued line must start with forward slash in column 2, column 1 and 2. Parameters on a continued line can start anywhere between column 4 and 16. Column 3 of a continued line must be a blank. If it isn't, the system will interpret the continued line as a new statement and the job will abort. Okay, let me give an example. Okay, so in this job, you can take this example. Okay, so there are some parameters that I need to continue. For example, here I have written some DD statement. I have provided one file, and after that I want to continue. Like when I tried to write this line here, I was not able to complete it. So I need to mark that line or mark that information in the next line. So how you can mark it as a continue statement? At the end, you have to provide the comma, and in the next line, you have to provide the forward slash, and you can write the next information. And after that, again, I have provided the comma and I have written the next information on the next line. So for the continuation, you have to provide the comma, and on the next line, you have to provide the forward slash, and in the column 1 and column 2. And as I written here, you can write the continuation from between column 4 and column 16. You cannot write the continuation in column 3 because job will abend. Why job will abend? The system will interpret the continued line as a new statement and the job will abend. So whenever you are writing any continuous statement, you have to keep in mind when you are writing it, you can use the space between column 4. So this is column 3. So you need to keep it blank. And from column 4 to column 16, you can use this space to write the continuation of your next line. So in this my job, in this my example, I have kept the column 3 as a blank, and I have started my next line from column 16. So job will know this is not the new statement. This is the continuation of the first statement, and it will work accordingly. So this is regarding how you can continue the job. And the next one is the comments. So comments are typically used to help identify or clarify the purpose of operation of a job or a job step. To code a comment within another JCL statement, simply leave one blank space between the end of the parameter fields and the beginning of the comment. A JCL comment statement must begin in column 1 with two slashes and asterisks. In terms of processing, the entire comment statement is ignored, but it's printed along with the JCL listing. Okay. So the next topic is how you can comment the any particular line. Okay. So in this my job, let me reset my job. Yep. So in this my job, I have written some comments here. So how I written this comment, I just mark the forward slash. Then after that, I mark the asterisk or you can say star. And after that, job will know, okay, after forward slash, we are having star. That means these three lines are not a executable statement. These are the comment. So job will understand and you can see in the mainframe, the color will change for that particular comment. So how you can write, let me put that okay, we can write it here. You just provide forward slash, then asterisk, uh, forward slash asterisk, forward slash asterisk. Okay, so here it will be marked as a comment, and after that, as per your requirement, you can write. So I just like to give this kind of information if I'm working in any project, or to give the information like this is the second step in this job. So here you can give whatever information you required. So if you're working on project and you need to give the information of each step, what is that program, what that program will do. So you can give the information in this manner so that if any other person will be reading this JCL, okay, that person will have the idea about, okay, so this step is regarding what process. Okay, this process will be doing this process, and it will be reading that file, it will be writing that file, it will be updating some data. So some kind of information you can write before that step that will give the information. So that is the main purpose of any comment statement, to give the clarity of the process. So this way you can write the comment. So here are some example that we can take. So for the continuation of line, that you can code the one way, you can code as many parameter on one line as possible, and after that you can provide the continuation by giving the comma, and after that by giving us or the leaving the blank as a column 3, and after column 4 you can write the next statement. That is one way of coding, and another way of coding is giving only one parameter or maximum two parameter per line. That will be very good. I follow this practice that when I'll be or when I was working in any process or any job, I'll be writing one parameter or maximum two parameter per line, because that will be a very good practice. It will be a readable, and you can see the difference between two types. You are just continuing and you are just writing two parameter per line. Same process, you have to mark the comma at the end, and after that you have to give the forward slash, and after that you have to uh, start from column 4 to 16, so that job will know the continuation of the process. So these are the two possible way you can write the continuation. And talking about the comments, yes, I have shown this example that you can write the comment in this manner, so that it will give the information of job step, what are that particular program is doing, which file is reading, what is the next process, and after that you can give this type of statement as well. So I'll suggest everyone to follow this practice. By giving the JCL statement, you can write the information of each step what that program is doing. Okay, so I hope how you can continue the JCL statement and how you can continue the comment in the job is clear now. So that's it for today. Yep, that's it for the second session. So in this session, you have learned, we have tried the actual programming in the JCL. So you can give the parameter, you can give the job statement, exact statement, DD statement, how you can continue your line, how you can comment your line. All that information we have covered in this topic. Yes, we have given the information of all types of statement, how delimiter, comments, and null is working. And after that, we went to the different types of fields we have, which is identify field, name field, operation field, and then we have the parameter fields. And after that, we have the comment field as well. And after that, we have seen the topic, which is the parameters. So first one is the positional parameter and another one is the keyword parameter. So I have given the example of those two parameters as well. And after that, we went on learning how you can continue a JCL statement and how you can write the comment in the job. Okay, so that's it for the second session. So thank you all. I hope you like the second session as well. So we will meet in the next session, which will be our third session, and we'll be deep diving into the next topic. So that's it from my side. I hope you like it. Thank you so much.